the top now. No, nothing can move you.
And this is why I rarely come on live. The hiccups, can't take it. Welcome to another episode of the Bobby Brown Show on the Go. I'm your humble host, Robert Bob TV Brown. And despite it all, despite the craziness, you are alive. You are breathing. You have another day. I want to dedicate this particular episode to one of the kids I used to mentor when I was a youth leader at my church. The great Jason Wiley, young man, model, end up being a B actor in Hollywood, working his way up to A actor, and young man in his 30s who happened to I will put his picture up, but I don't want to put him out like that. Had a lung infection and passed away. And I'm gonna miss the young man. I was more like a godfather to him. Uh, he lost his sister at a young age, and his dad. He lost his dad through driving semi trucks. The trailer fell on him, and that blew me away because me and his dad was like, me and his brother's like that. His brother was my assistant in the youth ministry, and who's going through it right now. Who have two beautiful kids, and who's not going to be able to grow up with an uncle. And of course, I step in and be Uncle Bobby as much as I can. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Young man, whole life ahead of him. So don't you ever think that you got the next day, because you don't. It's not promised to you. I might not be here. You may not be here. So that's why you got to seize the day and get this other stuff out of your mind. You thinking about the future and what's going to happen. You have to think about what's going on right now, because you may not get a future. You may not figure, it may not even bother you. Sufficient is the day. So that's all I got to say about that. So shout outs to my boy Jason Watley. Gonna miss you, young man. Gonna miss you, gonna miss you, gonna miss you. Now, where am I at on this thing? Okay. All right. So the Democrats are running scared. And I'm testing this because I'm using a new platform for videos, live service, web-based service. So you know how that can go. I prefer pre-recorded, edit, do my thing, no hiccups, nothing like that, then upload it. But this live stuff is the way to go, and I gotta master this. So just bear with me. Yeah, the Democrats running scared. They're running scared, man. They scared. They're so scared. They're scaring you. Oh, they coming. Oh, they grabbing you. Who coming? They coming. Who is they? Don't worry about it. Let's run together. Man, you don't sit your behind down, man. Come out as a little spider. I mean, one time I was a kid, man. I did not like mice. There was a mice in my house, man. I freaked out. Went to the bathroom, and the mice ran across my foot, man. That little mice could have been a doggone dinosaur, for as I know. I ran in the room and jumped in my mama's bed. My mom like, Negro, if you don't get your nasty feet out my doggone bed, I'm gonna beat your gotta love my mom. Thank God she's still here. I appreciate her every second of the day, man. Miss Shoppy Brown, Dot Brown. I love her so much. You're like, Negro, if you don't get your feet up out my chair, your dirty, stinking feet out my bed on my white sheets. That's why I got y'all black sheets. Well, anyway, yeah, they're running scared. So everybody is coming out the stump. You got Keith Olbermann running his big blab mouth. You got David Axelrod trying to spread fear over here, and they're gonna work together with the Obama coalition to try to shut down Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or and Cornel West. Ain't nobody thinking about Marion West. She's no threat. I keep telling y'all she's no threat. Nobody thinking about her. Nobody even talking about her. Who is talking about Marion Williams as a threat, Kyle Kulinski? Who? No, they talking about RFK. And we know at the end of the day, he's not going to be no threat because if he ran in the party, we know how they're going to do him. But now they're running scared because Cornel West. So let me see. Let's go ahead and get into this first article, this video. Shout out to Case Study QB. Holla at your boy. And let's see what these fools got to say about Cornel West.
Risky business. Former senior advisor to President Obama, David Axelrod, warning Biden could be facing a third-party spoiler, specifically from Green Party candidate Cornel West. Axelrod tweeting, quote, in 2016, the Green Party played an outsized role in tipping the election to Donald Trump. Now, with Cornel West as their likely nominee, they could easily do it again. Risky business. This comes as less than 40% of Americans say they view Biden or Trump favorably. Almost 1 in 4 voters, in fact, say they don't like either candidate, which is a key part of Cornel West's pitch.
I just thought about all the creative, imaginative, courageous fellow citizens that I meet, and how do we end up with the two candidates? Trump on the one hand, Biden on the other. Good God. With Brother Trump, you've got a game.
Now, before we get into what Brother Cornel West talked about, a lot of you people hate Cornel West, especially my people. They get mad because Cornel West put his mouth on Obama. Yeah, like you cannot put your mouth on Obama. I don't care who if it is. If it was Jesus and he did not follow his word, then I got a problem with Jesus. It doesn't matter. Cornel West was one of the main men that went out there and stomped for Obama, Black Nation. He put his credibility on the line to push Obama because Obama ran as a progressive. Obama ran as a people's party, even sometimes Black. And that man put his credibility on the line for Obama to have him go into office. And the first thing Obama started doing was pushing the I can't even say it, the LL Act, Lilly Ledbetter Act, that gave equal pay primarily to white women. Not, they say all women, but most of that went toward fairness toward white women. Immediately looking out for his mother's side of the family. Wasn't doing too much for his daddy's side of the family because his daddy Kenyan. He's not a FBA. He's not a foundational Black American. So people talking about, well, Obama get reparations. I'm like, no, he won't. If anything, his family owned slaves. Obama family lineage had slaves. Not that many, but he had slaves. I think they had like 3 or 4. You do your study. If you get a chance, you go out to watch TD Hip Hop, and he did a breakdown on slave ownerships of the former presidents and former political leaders. But this man put his credibility on the line to serve Obama. And then when Obama started doing everything for Wall Street and all these guys and nothing for the people, he had to speak up. And then they got mad at Tavis Smiley because they had a State of the Union Black Summit. That was supposed to happen. When you start veering off at a different direction than what you originally did, we wanted a Black president or close to Black, half Black, whatever. We push hard. It wasn't even hard. Black people was just ready. It doesn't matter. Even Black Republicans were ready for a Black president. And at that time, I was pretty much a Black Republican at that moment. I voted for Bush before Obama ran for office, and voted for him. And then, like Tavis Smiley said, he went down a direction where he totally disregarded Black people, started looking out for rich, white, wealthy people, and left us for a loop. So, of course, he's going to say something. I'm going to say something. A lot of people don't say that. Don't mean we're sellouts and coons. No, that dude is a sellout and a coon if he's going to turn his back on Black people for the case of Wall Street and the military complex and start pushing an extension of a war on terror from George W. Bush. Get out of here. That man put his credibility on the line. And now he's running outside of the party and they can't put a reins on him. Now, we say that there's things that the Democrats can do or the Republicans to do to make it difficult for him to run as a third party. We already know this, but that don't mean we're not going to stop. We know that they're not just going to let him get to the promised land, or that they're not going to just let him whoop on them like that. We already know that. Certain people out here talking about that. We'll talk about that later. But this man put his self on the line. We're in a Trump period where we got a pathological line, bigot, racist, fascist with rape allegations on the left, and prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You look at Joe Biden's record and you look at the way he legislated all the days of his life, and it's everything but a bigot, pathological line, fascist, rape, lying like a dog, talking about all the degrees he had and all that kind of stuff. Get out of here. And then we got Trump doing the same freaking thing. Well, he did this for black people. He released one black person out of jail. He put his mouth on the Central Park 5 boys without them having any kind of case that he helped make them guilty in the eyes of the public, and a whole bunch of other things. So Trump ain't no doggone different. Both of them are pro-war. Both of them are not the working class man's president. And then you're going to get mad because they got a disruptor in the system who say I am working class and I'm a man of honor and integrity. And they don't know what to do about this guy because they had this guy on his team. Bernie had him on his team. And they're going to try to get Bernie and try to talk him out of it. I'm telling you, Cornel West, you bet not listen to Brother Bernie. Somebody have to come in and disrupt the system. And all you want to say is who he may tip the votes to. Who cares? Only you care about that. I don't care. You see what's happening with the courts and all that. We need them. Stop. Let me let him finish.
In the objective sense. And with Biden, again, I love the brother, but he's a hypocrite. And he's pushing toward World War III when you talk about what he has to say about China and Russia.
Yep, that's that. That is that on getting used to this software. All right, yep. So you got a man who is a man of intellect, a man of integrity, a man who has a passion for people. And I'm not saying I'm supporting Cornel West or nothing like that. I'm telling you right now, I'm post-duopoly. I think it's time we've had a third party. But my whole area, my whole mindset is a little different. There's a reason why I need a person in office, because neither of them pushing my agenda. Neither one of those parties pushing the black agenda. Neither one of those parties are pushing reparation. Now, Marianne Williamson pushing her version of reparation, but she want to be a dictator about it and tell people like Marcel Dixon, then go wait another 4 years to find your president that's going to do that. You just going to be stuck with me. No, this is the thing about it. We ain't just got to be stuck with you. I ain't got to vote for you. And I ain't got to campaign for you. And I ain't going to try to convince other people to vote for you. I'm telling people you're a doggone fool if you vote for this fool. I mean, you can be a fool. You can vote for him, but you're a doggone fool. I'm not going to be the fool. So whatever happened between you two, left and right, it's on you. If I see somebody that's espousing my policies, I'm going with that person. I don't care what party he's in, even if he's third party. And right now, I don't see no massive agenda for Cornel West on his platform either. I think he's adopted the Green Party agenda concerning reparation, but they need to beef that up too. So no, he don't automatically get my approval anyway. So what are you gonna do, Robert? I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to do nothing but eat and die. Eat, take a dump, die, maybe go to work and pay my bills. That's all I got to do. I ain't got to participate in this process when I know it's corrupt. And right now, they're trying to corrupt it even further. Let me go to this article right here, because this article is very important. Give me a second. Come on, computer. I'm going to go to this article. This article is very important. It's the Hill article. And let me go to that particular article on the Hill. I don't know if you guys are looking at this one. Give me a moment. This software is crazy, man. Software is crazy. I think I got it here. All right. So this article right here, I think this is it. Yeah, I think this is the article. Yeah. Biden 2024 campaign will be a fight to protect democracy. How so? How so? You got one pathological line, racist, bigot, fascist with rape allegations, trying to control the political process, trying to use his White House power to control people's speech, trying to force people to take the V, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to tell you you have to accept the way a person feel or the way a person perceive themselves. You have to receive that or you can be penalized. You have to do this, you have to do that, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you won't do this, and you won't do that. That is not democracy. So how are you in a fight to protect our democracy, and when you're doing everything you can think about to damage it? President Biden doesn't brag much, and he shouldn't, because he has nothing to brag about. His record is dismal. It's horrible. It's tragic. He has no good record. None. Despite what you say, Jamie Dimon, AOC, and all you numbnuts spin these political talking points, he has no record of doing great things for the people. I know his record concerning doing horrible things for my people, and I can never forget that. And people say, oh, forget it, forget it, forget it. It's still going on to this day. How can we forget it when the damage is still affecting us to this day? It's like somebody giving you HIV and then you say, oh, forgive them, forgive them. No. You're in a relationship with a girl and you go in there and do your thing and the next morning you waking up on fire. Baby, please forgive me. Nah, girl, it's over. Ain't no going forward. You think I'm going to hit that again? No, it's done. Son, no. You gave me VD. I'm out. Oh, but I love you. I love you. I'm out. You should have got that taken care of. They got shots for that. You should have got that taken care of before you got with me. And how did you get it? You got it from somewhere. If you didn't have it with me, that means you caught it from some other dude. Let me stop. He said doesn't brag much, but after only 2.5 years in the White House, he has been called the most effective president since Lyndon B. Johnson. Why y'all send him that line? And folks, just because they call him that, don't you believe that? Go see if it's true. Because these people think you're so dumbfounded, so much of a numbnut, a nitwick, that we can say anything and you believe it. And even though I'm not a Mark Cuban fan, but I agree with the shirts, question everything. Question authority. Don't buck up all the time. Authority has its place. And there's rewards for submitting to authority. Don't always be anti-authority. But you're open to question. You're open to think, is this the right thing? And just because it's right doesn't mean it's right. Just because it's your right to do something don't mean it's the right thing to do. Now, I know that went over your head. That's my message for Sunday morning. Right doesn't mean it's your right. Unfortunately, most Americans do not realize all he has done. So Biden is trying out a new bully pulpit to tell them. His first was a live conversation last week on MSNBC anchor Nicole Wallace. Now, we're going to go over that, and then we're going to challenge that about his record. But in addition to his accomplishment, in addition to and see, the heel is sitting up here agreeing with this stuff instead of challenging it. In addition to his accomplishment, Biden should continue sounding the alarm he set off before last year's midterm election. The soul of America still is at risk from hatred, racism, violence, and totalitarianism. So you're going to tell me that a woman who don't agree with you playing sports as a former male in a women's division, and you running that person into a room and harassing them, that's not hatred? You continuing to push the bill or finalize a bill that's going to put police officers, that's going to charge them criminally if they beat up, if they kill a person, let alone a black person. You telling me that that's not racism? You beating up on innocent people and busting into their house and shooting them and they have no consequences. That's not violence. You trying to tell people they have to take a shot is not totalitarianism? Excuse me. Get out of here with this stuff. Biden should emphasize he's eager to lead the fight to restore decency, unity, and our commitment to democracy, but he needs an army of voters fighting beside him. Dude, you're not doing none of that. You're not doing none of that. And Trump is not going to do none of that. Because you got two bigot, fascist people running for office, and the world and the United States is looking for somebody that's not. So they'll look at Marianne Williamson quickly, but then they'll wake up and say, I don't eat pork. They'll look at RFK or they'll look at Cornel West. Why? Because these people, at least Cornel West, is not a person that's going to promote hatred and racism. If you want to look for a candidate that's anti everything that's written up into this article, whether you like it or not, hatred, racism, violence, and totalitarianism, love is what Cornel promote way more than Marianne Williamson, even though that's her lifestyle as a preacher. Cornel West is that person. Now, I don't know if our FK 100% on that. All I can see is him saying, look, we need to come together. We need to come together. But for his decency, unity, our commitment and democracy, I don't know. But we got three of the candidates that are better at promoting or fighting against hatred, racism, violence, totalitarianism than Biden. Because Biden ain't never been that way. This man is about to get us in the brink of war. And that's enough for me. You can't come shame me about not voting for Biden. You can't say a vote for no vote for Biden is a vote for Trump. That's a doggone lie. In order for you to win an election, you got to have a tally of votes. If you want my vote, there's certain things you got to do to get it. Stop this nonsense war. Give me a black agenda and give me raw reparations. And that's to anybody running for office. You say you're a single issue candidate, you're doggone right. I'm a single issue person. Serve my community instead of saying you're going to serve them and don't do nothing. Sick of this mess, man. And if you're not going to do it, then I'm out. Let me keep going. Biden should emphasize he's eager to lead the fight to restore decency, unity, and our commitment to democracy. Dude, you just split it up even more. There's nothing decent about what's going on right now. No decency, no unity. We're worse off than ever before. We're divided than ever before because of some of your policies. And you knew that. You liked that. You always liked us being divided. You've always been a segregationalist. Biden should emphasize he's eager to lead that fight, but he needs an army of voters. Well, count me out like no addition. You can count me out. You can count me out. It turns out that exercising former President Trump from government isn't as easy as removing him from the White House. His influence continues with the three appointees in the Supreme Court. That was his right. When you had an opportunity, Obama didn't appoint a bunch of people to the Supreme Court, and even though they rejected them, Obama went to the right to get Supreme Court justice, just appease to conservatives. Neil Gorsuch, and that's going to the right. And he wills strong control among the Republicans serving in the Congress. That's the power of Trump. But Biden has that same power. If anybody will more control over the Congress, is Joe Biden. These freaking progressives are sucking up to his feet, kissing his feet. Lips all on his behind. Brown nose and then everything. Head all up Joe Biden behind. Well, I think he's doing a great job. He's been the greatest president since LBJ. So you're trying to say the man who pushed the civil rights movement, helped sign it into law, had to, even though he couldn't stand King and King couldn't stand him. Well, King loved him, but he couldn't stand his bigot ways. LBJ, the most bigot racist at that time in authority, and that's something you got to think about. Martin Luther King know how to rally his community and other people in the community to push so hard against one of the most bigot racists from Texas, the president, who we don't know, probably could have worked with CIA to have John F. Kennedy shot. We don't know, so he could take over. Or even if he didn't know, the CIA, whoever knew, they could have been happy to say, let's get him out the way so we can get this guy in to stop this. The political pressure from the Black community was still so strong that they forced this bigot, racist, pathological line bigot racist in the fashion of Trump and Biden to still move in their favor. So this stuff about we have to have a so-called not prejudiced, not bigot, not fascist, not racist president in power is out the window. You can still put the pressure to keep the reins on them if you know how to effectively organize against him. And this is what the progressives are always talking about doing, but won't do. And it's going to take the people to do that. That's why Black people, you don't ever have to worry about who's in office. Oh God, we're gonna get another Pitler in there. Pitler, you know, he's Pitler in Resurrection of Pitler. I have to put the P there. You think we worried about whether he's a Pitler or not? I'd rather die achieving the impossible than live in the mediocre. And right now, America is going backwards. Backwards. We're not growing stronger. And it's going backwards because we keep pushing for these stupid types of leaders. I'm looking for policies. I'm looking for results. That's all I care. And Joe Biden ain't got none. Trump didn't have none. I can't say Trump was trying to help people out financially. Joe Biden said, you put me in office, I'm going to cut you another stimulus check, but it ain't going to be nowhere where Trump was trying to cut you. They was afraid. They stopped it. They stopped the stimulus check because they were afraid that Trump was going to get some kind of glory. That's how crazy and nuts these people in Capitol Hill is. They're so freaking biased. But let me continue. What's more, SCOTUS itself is melting down. So they're melting down because they're not leaning towards your side. I never had my faith in the doggone SCOTUS, just like I never had my faith in these political leaders. I vote for you and expect you to get the job done that the people in your district that sent you up there to get done. It's not about the overall United States. It's about that particular district. We sent you there to do your part for the sake of the constituents here. That's your job. And we'll do it in another city, in another state, in another city, in another state. And that's how it's done. Your number one focus is your constituents in your region. And if you're not serving them right, they're going to get rid of you. Don't you ever have your faith in the Supreme Court system or the Congress or the freaking presidency? Your faith is in you. It's your ability to make these people to do what they're supposed to do. And that's why I am post-duopoly, because I know their strategy is to beat you upside the head. We got you running scared right now, Democratic Party. You have neglected people, let alone Black people. You neglected Black people, the one who've been putting you in office. You've been stepping over them, stepping over dollars to get the pennies, doing everything for everybody else who ain't did nothing for you. Nowhere near half is what we do, not even a quarter. Spitting in our face, butt up in our face, literally telling us, kiss our behind, we're going to help these migrant workers. Kiss our behind, we're going to help these Wall Street. Kiss our behind, we're going to help everybody but you. We'll get to you later. Look here, vote me in another 4 years, and I got you, Black people. I got your back. Get out of here. During the conversation with Wallace, Biden said he believes Congress and the Supreme Court will heal themselves. Who say they're damaged? All of y'all are self-mutilating politicians and political leaders. You're always cutting yourself. You cut yourself. You harm yourself. by not doing the will of the people. Whenever you did the will of the people, you got these corporations out of it. When it was all about the people financing you, you did more of the will of the people than less. But as soon as big money donors came in the way, you've been kissing their behind, giving them what they want, neglecting us. You're cutting yourself. Because one company, one CEO and their big money does not match the thousands of voters that have the ability to vote for you. During the conversation with Wallace, Biden said he believed Congress and the Supreme Court will heal themselves. His faith in the self-healing power of institutions. Get out of here with this bull crap, man. May be rooted in the kinder and gentler days when he served in the Senate. Kinder and gentler? Really, Joe Biden? Oh, vicious bigot Joe Biden. Joe Biden, I'm not even going to get on Trump and his old bigotry ways here in New York City and undermining the working class and undermining construction workers and didn't want to pay them until he got his way. I'm not even going to go into that crap because I keep telling people, y'all don't know Trump like New Yorkers. I've been in New York for 10 years and I've been studying Trump. So imagine what real New Yorkers who've been here all their life know about the Trump and the Trump family. I'm not even going to get on that because I'm not a Trump guy, and he's not the one really, even though he's asking my vote, this fool expect my vote. And then I got people that's in my life that's always been voted Democrat that's going to be trying to come to me with this mess, and I'm going to say, man, you're wasting your time. This legendary bigot, legendary, who on purpose push policies to try to keep these Negroes in line and to keep them away from our side of the tracks and keep them on their side of the tracks. And you got to be talking about kinder and gentler days when I served in the Senate. Get out of here. There was dignity, decorum, and the desire for bipartisanship back then. Yeah, you was not pushing it. Well, you was. It was always dignity, decorum, and desire for bipartisanship when it was something to hurt the people and to help the corporations. And Biden ain't never been a man of dignity. Now I got to give it to Obama. Obama kind of smooth. He'll do horrible things in a dignified way, in a kind way, and he'll use that to get bipartisanship. But that's not Biden. He ain't never been that way. He was opposite of that. But those days are long gone, and they won't return until voters remove members of Congress who are hell-bent on partisanship. So he's saying, I need you guys to get those people out of the way so I can continue to cut you in the throat. So I can continue to undermine and ignore you. But those are the days long gone that they won't return until voters remove members of Congress who are hell-bent on partisanship. Currently, the Republicans in the House and Senate are holding kangaroo hearings and investigation. Some of this stuff need to be held. Some of you guys in the whole kangaroo investigations. This whole Trump mess, Stormy Daniels and all this bull kind of, that ain't kangaroo court. I don't give a crap about Trump paying no prostitute. Hey, I paid prostitute a couple times in my life when I'm my younger life, man. Come on, you gonna put me in jail for that? And if I told her, look, you need to shut your mouth up, here's a little something, and she say, that between me and her. You ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Yo, don't be telling no one. Keep that on the hush hush, girl. Keep that on the hush hush, girl. Trying to become president. People worry about these immoral things, which to me is just as bad because I got my immoral ways and I'm working on it. Immoral is not gonna be a help to this country, immorality. So I got my immoral ways. We all have our immoral ways, but some of them are not that important to the overall vision of the country. I don't care who you with. If you want to be with a frog in your bedroom, have at it. But don't be trying to push laws to be with a frog and expecting me to say, yo, I respect that. No, fool, you out of your doggone mind. Plus, that's animal abuse. Leave that frog alone. Why are you trying to? Across the street from the Capitol Supreme Court has been busy stripping freedom's previous court establishment of women, minorities, and gays, as well as hobble and Environment Protection Agency ability to fight global climate change and put limits on Clean Water Act. More than 80% of Democrats and independents, or nearly 2/3 of Republicans, favor non-discriminatory protections for LGBTQ plus people. What about black people, man? See what I mean? We put you in office, but you want to go all out for that. I'm not saying LGBTQ people plus don't need their protection. And honestly speaking, the FBI showed you where the hate is at. The hate is on the black community. It's not on the Asian community. It's not in the LGBTQ plus community. It's on the black community, yet they will never talk about these things in the article. But you want us to go ahead and put Joe Biden in office so he can push all these agendas, but won't push mine. Are you freaking kidding me? And see, these are the things that make me turn the other way. Hey, look, you guys got to hold your own nuts, man. I'm trying to fight over here for this. I got my own nuts to hold. I'm not trying to hold yours. And this guy keep kicking me in mines. And at the same time, I know it's a bad analogy. At the same time, he's stroking yours, but he keep kicking me in mines. But you expect me to keep supporting this fool who keep kicking me in mines and keep stroking yours. Are you freaking kidding me? According to the poll by the Public Religion Research Institution last year, nevertheless, the court has ruled businesses can refuse service to same-sex couple. See, stop reading it like that. That's not what it says. So I say, people, go read the law. Businesses cannot stop resisting. They cannot discriminate against people, same-sex couples. The law says that if you are a business and these views go against your personal religious belief, you can refuse them on that issue alone. You can't refuse doing business with them. But if you are a church-going person or a Muslim, or because we have freedom of religion in this country too. Yes, we do. Whether you like it or not, it's part of our Constitution. You trying to force me to do things that's anti my religion? No, it's against the law. You can't do that. You're trying to tell me to push agendas and programs and events that's anti my God or anti my belief. You're trying to force me to do that? No, that's against my religion, and I have a right to say so. Now, because my color, because, like, for an example, how can I say this? All right, you're in the King community. I'm a Christian. You're in the King community, and you want me to make a, and you into toys and all that kind of stuff, and you want me to have candles on it with little them little rubber things that women use a lot. You want me to have that on it. You want me to produce that cake. You want me to produce a cake with whips and chains and all that kind of stuff and dildos and all that. Excuse me, I'm gonna get struck for all that. You want me to put that all on my cake. And you want me to write down on the cake, it's gonna be a broke butt breaking night to night, broke back night to night. You want me to put that on the cake, and you want me to sell that, and I'm a Muslim. Or you want me to cook you a bunch of pork as your caterer. I want pork, I want pork chops, I want pig's feet, I want all that. No, that's against my religion. I'm not cooking you that. Go to somebody in your community to give you that. I'm not gonna give you that. I'm not gonna give you that. Because that's against my faith. You know my faith, we don't do pork. This is a pork-free business. So anyway, I'm just getting into it. So what I'm saying is these people are spinning stuff on the news to make it seem like all these bad things that happened to you and got you running scared and got you thinking that if they get in office, it's going to be worse. Like if you stay in office, it's not going to get worse. Right now, we got the Democrats in office, and it was getting worse. When they had the House and Senate, they wouldn't do a jack for you. Biden's a president. We still hold the House. They have the Senate, and they ain't doing jack for you. No, I think they have the Senate. We have the Senate, and they have the House, whatever. Anyway, they ain't doing jack for you. They ain't been doing jack for you. They ain't gonna ever do jack for you until you start putting a whooping on them. And I'd rather have the Democrats scared of a whooping than keep trying to cater to them, and they don't continue to walk in fear of your vote. They should be scared of your vote. According to the poll by the Public Religion Research last year, nevertheless, the court just ruled businesses can refuse services to same-sex couples. That is not true. That is not true. Chick-fil-A cannot not serve you. Holly Hobby cannot serve you. You and your boyfriend, you and your girlfriend can come at Holly Hobby and buy some stuff, and they can't say no. Now, you go into Holly Hobby, tell them, why do y'all don't have a row with LGBTQ plus? I'm talking about the plus side. How come you don't have no pictures of two men together or two women together? You're not going to have that. You can't force them to have that. Go to somebody that's going to have that. That's the greatness of America. There's places that have that. Go get it. Stop making the Muslim go against their religion, or the Buddhists go against their religion, or the Christian go against their religion to cater towards your religion, what you believe in. But they'll spin this thing to make it seem like they're not going to serve you at all. They can't. Nah, they got to serve you. Come on, stop with the bull crap. Anyway, the justice based the decision on a lawsuit filed by a conservative Christian group. It turned out to be bogus. Get out of here. The facts were fiction, and there was no injured party. It raised concern to the court and is willing to issue the ruling based on conservative objective rather than the actual case. Now, look, they're not talking about the actual case. They're not going to give you the case number. They're just throwing that out there just to mess with you. Go look at the case. Now, the ruling was based on another thing, but still the same thing. They cannot refuse you service unless you ask them to go against your religious faith. If you want to eat, you want to have a pan full of pork chop and rice, and they're a Muslim business, they don't eat pork, you can't send them to court. Go somewhere where they do that. Now, I'm not going to go over this entire article because I spent too much time reading. This article is very long. You get a chance, you go to read that article from The Hill to get a little more familiar with it. But the bottom line is this. Come on. The Democrats is running scared. The rulings from the Supreme Court from this ruling with the religious organization trying to sit there and say that, oh, now people can refuse you service because you're LGBTQ, which is a lie. Or they took this away from you, and they took they took abortion away from you. Me, I'm not a fan of abortion. I'm a father who lost his child. I wish I had my son with me. I wish I had more children in my life. So I'm not a fan of abortion. I do understand situations for you making the decision to not have the baby, but just because you caught Chuck with another woman and you carrying Chuck baby, now you want to get rid of that. I'm not for that. Come on, man. And to me, that's senseless. That's based on feelings again. We're making legislative moves or making decisions based on people's emotions. How I feel. I feel like I should not have it. I feel like you should have it. If you don't want to put it up for adoption, you're upset with Chuck. That's an emotional thing. And a whole bunch of things that we're doing, we're trying to legislate based on feelings. I feel like he didn't address me properly as who I am. Get over your feelings. So what? And see, this is the mess that's going to cause people to either go the other way or don't vote at all. This mess. But let me keep going. The Democrats are running scared. So because they're running scared, we had to deal with this situation right here. If it ever pops up on this slow behind computer of mine, the article won't pop up. The article will not pop up. Here we go. David Axelrod. Let me see if Axelrod pops up. There we go. Axelrod warns Cornel West's bid could tip the election to Trump. And you know what I got to say? Good. It got you running scared. Axel Warren, Cornel West bid could tip the election to Trump. You notice they don't say, well, this election could tip it to Biden. How about this election could tip both of y'all butt out of here? How about that? How about there's enough people, because I keep telling you, the people that's non-affiliated, non-voters, independent, outweighs Republican Democrats combined. How about you're in a position now that most of the people, you ain't going to fear them. You're not going to scare them. You're not going to shame them, and it won't work on me. We don't want neither one of you. We're post-duopoly. We want somebody outside the party. And if we don't find one, we're just not going to vote for you. We're not forced to vote for you, and we don't have an obligation to vote for you. Well, you know, Robert, come on now. Come on. You know, your black ancestor died to vote. That's right. But they voted with something in mind. If you promise to do this for my community, we'll vote for you. That's why they died. They didn't die just to slut vote. To give it up, no relationship, no, you know, nothing. You did nothing for me so far in this relationship, and you want me to continue another year? It's another year. What have you done concerning it? What did you do to contribute to this relationship growing? Nothing. So we're at a quagmire right now. We're at a stale. We're stale. We're not doing nothing right now. We might have to revisit whether we should continue or not. We should be growing, not going backwards. So David Axelrod, a Trump boy. That's Obama's boy. That's Obama's version. What's his name for Trump? I keep forgetting his name. Forgive me. So he's running scared. So they're going to be on a campaign to shut Cornel West. They're not going to be on a campaign to shut RFK down because they know they can pull the switch anytime they want to. Jill Stein talked about that running in a revolutionary campaign in a non-revolutionary party just ain't going to work. They have the ability to pull the plug on you. They have the ability to pull the plug on RFK and Marianne Williamson. Now, I honestly believe that RFK got a better chance of replacing Trump than them trying to go with Gavin Newsom or somebody like that because of the superdelegates. If they can work a deal with him and kind of get him to bend the knee, he has a chance of being the Democratic nominee. They can ditch Biden and get him for various reasons. If he can honor some negotiations, because they're going to come to him. If he gets so much traction, if he get to 25 to 30%, if he get 30%, they'll start negotiating with him. And he got to be headstrong and not negotiate. They'll say, we can even push you even more, and you can pretty much be the nominee, and we can sway the super delegates and the delegates to go your way. See, that's the pulling of the plug. And even though you support this guy, they have super delegates that they can move to not get him elected, because this is not a fair election. We have super delegates and we have delegates. It's not the people who's going to make the final decision. It's the super delegates or the delegates that makes the final decision, not you. So at the end of the day, you can push RFK to the moon. And at the end of the day, the delegates, like they did in Bernie Sanders' case, will pull the plug on your campaign. And the problem they have right now is they can't do that with Cornel West. They can't automatically pull the plug that easy, so they got to do outside forces like conning and scheming and working hard to get him off the ballots here and there. Look, let me tell you something, folks. I'm going to say this now. Whether they get him on a ballot or not, you can write him in. It depends how hungry you are. How post-duopoly are you? How serious are you about putting a beating on these political parties that's doing nothing for you? Your rhetoric, Robert Brown, is going to get Trump elected. If that's what it takes, you didn't learn the first time with Hillary Clinton. You're not doing right by the people. You're screwing the people. You screwed the people in that campaign in 2008. Have not you learned your lesson that you do that, you're going to get Trump. Now, because of the pandemic, it was easy to get Trump out of office and for you to end up pushing Biden, because you easily made it look like Trump was going to use this vaccine to get us all killed. And the vaccine is not political. You sat there and said that whatever vaccine Trump comes under the Trump administration, they ain't gonna trust it. But we should trust the vaccines that come under the Biden administration. Democratic strategy David Axelrod and the Green Party bid by academic Cornel West could draw votes away from President Biden, and it could draw votes away from Trump too. Leaning to a victory from the former President Trump. And so what? How could you say that? You don't believe in democracy? Yes. And both of you are screwing it. The right and the left are screwing it. So either way, it's going to get screwed. You're doing it. And you're supporting the screwing of America by putting these people in the office. I'm putting the shame on you. In 2016, the Green Party played an outside role in tipping the election to Donald Trump. That's a doggone lie. A vote you didn't get doesn't make you a winner. And it doesn't make you a loser. What makes you a loser is you not getting enough votes and doing whatever you need to do to get those votes. It's on you. It's not on the voters. It's not on me that you lost. It's on you. People told you ahead of time what it takes for you to get their vote, and you sat there and ignored it. The black community say no black agenda, no black vote, and you sat there and ignored it in 2016. And look at 2020, and look where you're at now. It's your fault. It's not going to be a third-party voter. The Green Party don't owe you their vote. Their votes, if they love the Green Party and they believe in the Green Party agenda, they're going to vote green. And in the primaries, in the general, guess what they're going to vote? They're going to vote green even if they have to write it in because they believe in that candidate to the point that they'll do the impossible. What you consider impossible. You wasted your vote. No, I didn't waste my vote. I voted for whoever I wanted to vote for. I can't help y'all didn't vote for him. That's on y'all. Y'all could have had a great candidate. But y'all refused to vote for him because you're in a cult. You're in a religious cult called the Democratic Party. You're in a religious cult called the Republican Party. And you're beholden that cult and can't find a way out and wouldn't even think of. Gary Johnson took more votes away from Trump. Gary Johnson took more votes away from even because you had a lot of Republicans, a lot of free-thinking Republicans that was going down the Bernie route because Bernie was running as an independent in the Democratic Party. They was willing to ride with Bernie Sanders. But you didn't open up the primary for them to vote for Bernie Sanders in the primaries, which would have gave him the nomination up to a certain point. Still had to get through that delegation process because superdelegates, Bernie Sanders won states and the superdelegates said, so what? Forget you people who voted. I make the decision. I trump all your votes. When it comes to that doggone delegation, when it comes to that convention, I cast a vote. You guys could say, hey, I voted for Bernie Sanders, but I'm going to make the decision to vote for Hillary Clinton. And a lot of them did. Tell me where's the democracy in that? It's not democracy. And you want us to be scared of Trump. I'm scared of you and your undemocratic ways. Don't get me wrong. I don't like them either. The problem is both of you. That's why I'm post-duopoly. And I've been post-duopoly. I'm about people. I'm not about party. And if I see, I don't care what party you in, non-party, outside of the party. If you really got a heart for the people, you can get my vote. And right now, I don't see nobody except for Marcel Dixon and a couple other people, Shealy and all that has a heart for black people and want them to get what they supposed to have a long time ago to even the financial playing field between blacks and whites. But what about us immigrants? What about us? This is not personal. This is business. The country owes us this. You guys, most of you guys didn't come in to post 65 to 68. We'll get to you after we take care of it. We laser focus on this. Once we laser focus on this, then we'll deal with the Jim Crow and the racism and the hanging and all that. We'll deal with the money for that too. We're just talking about the money you made off our backs for financially for building one of the most strongest financial countries in the world. We didn't do that for free. You forced us to do that for free, and we demanded our money. The Hill election 2024 coverage. West is seeking a Green Party nomination as a progressive candidate, driven by a pursuit for social and economic justice, he said in his campaign announcement. Axelrod compared West to 2016 Green Party candidate Jill Stein, who some blame for splitting the vote for Hillary Clinton. How are you going to split something that you didn't earn? That's my piece of pie. You know, man, he didn't even split that piece of pie with me. Negro, I bought that pie. That's my pie. I ain't got to split nothing with you. Well, if you're caring and sharing, you can care. I can carry you somewhere after knocking you out from getting you in my face. I paid for that pie. You want a piece of pie? Go pay for it. I say these things because I'm trying to give you visualization of the way it is. That you don't own nobody, but you want something, you got to earn it. Nobody's going to give it to you. Now, me and you working side by side, man, and I'm eating a piece of pie, man, and you realize I ain't got nothing, and you're like, man, yo, we've been working together, man. I'm gonna split this pie with you. Y'all don't know. It doesn't work like that when it comes to these parties. Y'all work together with Republicans, but what have you done with Green Party people? Why you always dumping on them? Oh, we open our doors to Green Party. That's the small organizations that does that, like Our Revolution and all that. But at the end of the day, you expect them to turn toward the Democratic Party. You don't own nobody vote. For you to sit here and say something like Stein won more votes than Trump, margin victory. Axelrod compared West to 2016 Green Party candidate Jill Stein, who some blame for splitting the vote for Hillary Clinton in key electoral states. Glad they said some. Potentially causing Clinton's electoral loss for former President Biden's to former President Trump. No, it wasn't Jill Stein. It was Clinton. She hate the common man. She don't want to be around the common man. You got to be middle class up. So she ain't going to go to farm country. She ain't going to go to boom town or rural town. She going to tell Bernie Sanders to do 42 meetings out there, which he did, even though he so-called did not want to do it. And the same thing what happened with RFK and Marianne Williamson once they pulled a plug on them too. Will Joe Biden go to those places? No, he'll probably send Obama, or he'll probably send Amy Klobuchar. Stein won more votes than Trump, margin of victory in Wisconsin and Michigan, state which would have tipped the outcome of the election if Clinton had won them. And whose fault is that? It's not Stein's fault. She have a right to run. This is a democracy, and this democracy should be open to allow all parties to run. All. It shouldn't be no major super duper requirements or nothing like that. They shouldn't have to jump through the hoops. They shouldn't have to have a certain amount of polling. They shouldn't have to have a certain amount of money in order for them to get on the ballot. That's called swaying it in your way, in your favor, to keep these third parties from being liable. She made it liable and got on the ballots, and she earned her votes. She didn't take it from you. She earned it. It's your fault that you didn't do whatever you can to make sure she earned it the right way versus making prank phone calls, asking people, do you still support the party, to negate or to steal their votes away from them. That's what you call a punk itch. Scumbag to go that low to try to stop a party from gaining traction because you too much of a punk to give the people what they need for them to drive out the vote for you. You so lazy, so undetermined to do the will of the people that you won't go earn a vote. Democrats have raised concern over an attempt to float third-party candidates in the Biden-Trump 2024 matchup. Okay, you should have been thinking about that. How could you not be concerned? You should expect that. You should expect that every election. It's going to happen. You should expect that. People are not going to go. Everybody ain't going to be on your side. Everybody not going to support you. And people are tired now. They're not giving money out to you. Even third parties. You really, really got to bring it if you want to get some money out of these people. Because people are we're struggling. I can't afford to send you $5-10 a month. Marcel Dixon is a great candidate. And this guy lost his job doing right by the people. They messed with his pension and made it hard for him to get his job back. A job that he loved doing, teaching. He made a sacrifice, and look how the Democrats is treating him right now. They're pushing everything on the outside to punish this guy. But you want to talk to somebody about democracy. All because he challenged Jimbo James Clyburn. And because he's talking about reparations. Democratic Party and their cohorts, their goons are out there slamming this man. We ain't gonna let you slam us. You push us, we gonna push you back harder, and you're gonna fall to the ground. And you doing things like that ain't gonna make us want to vote for you. It's gonna make us even more determined to tell you to kiss our natural born behind. Republican strategists have shared similar concerns. Let me finish reading. Biden, Trump 2024, including the West, and by the organization No Label, who have pledged to put forth a unity ticket, which would exist outside the two-party system. Now, that's, we all know No Labels is going to be, that's more, a organization that's going to kiss the Democratic Party at the end. The Green Party ain't obligated to kiss no Democratic Party unless your name is Howie Hawkins. They con artists. Republican strategists have shared similar concerns with former Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway says that West posed a big threat to Biden's campaign. Yeah. West is so neutral that he could pull some Republicans over to his camp as an independent because Republicans are tired of this mess too, war and all that kind of stuff. Some Republicans are tired of it. And a Green Party or independent candidate has that potential sway to get both parties on his side, and that's why both of them are running scared, but the Democrats more so. Because Cornel West is a Democratic darling. They can't say nothing legitimately bad about West. And they know him running third party is them not being able to control him. They can't get the fangs in them. They can't get the fingernails in them. And I'm going to prove that in a moment. A poll last month found that nearly half of the voters, half now, this is what scares them, would at least consider a third-party candidate. See, they don't want the consideration. Well, if you don't want consideration, you should have been doing right by the people instead of being half-ass about it. You're half-ass about it. Yeah, one half of my flat crack behind, that's how you are. I don't want no half-ass. I want the whole ass. I want a fat one too. Y'all being half flat ass about this Democratic Party, and you're scared because somebody may go to Cornel West. I want to say RFK, but like I said, they could pull the plug on RFK any day, any time, because he's running in that party. In the second Biden-Trump matchup, the most popular potential candidate in the poll was Senator Bernie Sanders and Joe Manchin and former Representative Liz Cheney. Sanders has backed Biden, while Manchin and Cheney have not publicly announced their 2024 plan. And they should not endorse anybody either, because that's how you lose your leverage, AOC, Bernie Sanders. You guys are punks. You don't care about the people. You have to, you've done it before. You know the deal, Bernie Sanders. You don't give nobody no endorsement unless you get something from them. But you figure that's my good friend Joe. I can get anything from Joe. Lie. He's the man who said, I beat the socialists. You should be offended by that. AOC giving her endorsement to Trump. And that's what it's do. This is why I tell you politicians, don't go on that podcast, Pod Save America, that old Obama commission think tank and podcast that's going to ask you to support Biden early and leave you in a position where you believe it's hard to say no at that moment. It ain't hard for me. I'm like, hell no, I ain't voting for him. Why not? I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give my endorsement to anybody. If I give an endorsement at all, I'm not obligated to give nobody an endorsement, especially him. The student loan thing failed, and a whole bunch of other things failed. So no, I'm not giving no support. If he fixed that, maybe I can. But until I see him fix it, I'm not even thinking about getting. I'm not going to give nobody those. I'm not supporting nobody. Where's your boss for that? Well, Brown, you don't understand. I'm in a position in Congress, and I work for the party. The party needs me, and I got to be a party loyalist. That's your problem. You wouldn't even be in that position if it wasn't for the people. You got to be a people loyalist. You got to be a people loyalist. So David Axelrod and Obama is going to rally the troops to try to stop Cornel West from the outside. They can't do it from the inside, thank God. They're going to try to get Bernie Sanders to try to talk to Dr. Cornel West. And Dr. Cornel West, you have to make a decision to choose the people over your good friend Bernie Sanders. You got to say, I'm sorry, my good brother Bernie Sanders. Go somewhere with that bull crap. I love you. Step off. Step off, man. Step off. I ain't got nothing to say to you right now. And if it means my friendship with you, that's on you. That ain't on me. I'm always your friend. We're going to be friends because they're going to always be friends. But no, I'm on a mission, bro. I'm on a doggone mission to change the trajectory of politics by getting this party to a position where it can win. Because the media is trying to make it think that this is just a vanity thing, and he can't. He can. All he need to do is get the non-voters and the non-affiliate voters on his side, let alone Republicans, Democrats. He getting Democrats on his side. A lot of Democrats are fed up with a lot of people may be a Democrat in affiliation, but they're not part of the cult. They didn't drink the juice, the Biden butt juice. They didn't drink that nasty mess. So they will go to Cornel. A lot of Republicans are not same thing. I'm not in the red MAGA. I'm not in the blue MAGA. I just want to make America great, and I ain't got to have Donald Trump to do that. Some of them gonna look at Cornel West. Even a black man Cornel. They ain't gonna look at no black man. All those racist sons of a gun. That's what a lot of these white women in the Democratic Party are saying. Look at David Axelrod. David Axelrod ain't gonna vote for no doggone. He's gonna go Democratic all day, every day because he's in the cult. He's in that cult. Get me back up here. Give me a second. All right, I got another article I want to go to. I'm almost done, y'all. Just hang in there with me. The Democrats are running scared. And by the way, I'm just testing this thing right now. Going live on multiple platforms. I mean, I got to figure out this chat thing so I can see who I'm chatting with. Say one person up there. So 1 million don't matter to me. Cornel West should run as a Democrat. See, this is how scared they are. They are running scared. They're mad because he's not running in the Democratic Party, not understanding he's not going to run in the Democratic Party because he's not a dummy. He's an intellectual. He realized the Democratic Party has a system where the party from the top can control. The DNC already is in the bag for Biden, just like they were already in the bag for Hillary Clinton. Dang an insurgent campaign. We're going to ignore that insurgent campaign. What gets me is Simone Sanders was on the Bernie Sanders campaign at the same time. They were saying, ignore Bernie, ignore Bernie. Oh, he's not a threat. He's not a threat. And now here she's saying the same thing about JFK and Marianne Williamson. Now, I don't think Marianne Williamson's a threat, but JFK is. Because Republicans are not going to go to Marianne Williamson. Forget that. They think she's weird, kooky, and all that. Non-voters, maybe some. But she's not going to be appealing Democrats and Republicans and independents. Robert Kennedy appealed Jr. appeals to the Democrat, Republicans, and non-voters and non-affiliated voters and independents. He's appealing to them. And if you're smart and you're really serious about maintaining power, you go with the person who has the ability to pull from all aisles, not just one or two. But the Democratic Party is just dumb. It's the cult thing. You lose the sense of self, and it's all about the will of the cult. Cornel West should run as a Democrat. If he wants to go beyond preaching to the convert, he needs to take his socialist politics into the Democratic Party. No, he don't. Didi Guttenplan and Bahaska Sakara. Man, you can go suck a kara with that bull crap. He can go far fast just on what he's doing right now. Goal number one is for him to win. If you any goal for anybody running for office is to win. Even though Trump was not trying to win the Republican nomination, he was trying to get some clout for his products, services, and Trump TV. He was shocked and amazed when he won. He wasn't expecting that. He didn't even want it. He just wanted to poke fun at Obama and poke fun at the Democrats who shamed him at the White House press conference. If it wasn't that White House correspondent dinner, Trump would have never ran for office. That shameful moment where Obama embarrassed him in front of the world, said, you do realize I'm from New York. You're going to get got. You ain't going to see it coming. And that's what happened. Obama got, and he didn't see it coming. I continue to believe America's not going to elect Donald Trump as a president. Wrong. Very wrong. Stop thinking that you got to have things your way. It's not going to happen your way. Cornel West should run as a Democrat. He should, but he's not because you're rigged. You're a crooked system. The people don't make the final decision. The superdelegates do, and that's bad enough. And bad enough you run yourself as a corporation. Bad enough you determine where you want to give funding. Bad enough if you want to cause the money to trickle down this direction, that direction. It's all a bad system, and they need to be cleaned house in the Democratic Party. And I'll never join that party again until they do clean the inside. It need a colon cleanse. It's a bunch of full of politicians in that, including Jamie Harrison. An intellectual superstar from the moment he graduated from Harvard, where he majored in a Near Eastern language and civilization, West was the first African American to be awarded the PhD in philosophy at Princeton. Though he wrote his doctoral dissertation on an ethical historicism and the Marxist tradition, West also came under the influence of Richard Rorty, an American pragmatist rival during this time at Princeton. He has since taught at Yale, where he held a joint appointment with the college and a divinity school. Harvard, where he taught in both the Department of African and African American Studies and Divinity School, and was named the university's professor. Princeton, where he helped found the Center for African American Studies, and the Union Theology Seminary, where since 2021 he has held a Dietrich Bonhoeffer Chair. The matter of numerous books, including the best-selling Race Matters, West has also recorded his own album. Let me get down to the nitty-gritty, okay? Get down to the nitty-gritty of the article, which makes it all more unfortunate that instead of waging a campaign designed to push Joe Biden, see, that's the point. It's all about Biden. Here we got this newspaper in the pocket of the Democratic Party. And his writer in the Democratic Party. He should be in there helping Biden. No, he shouldn't. He should be in there helping the people. He should be in there going at it to get rid of both of them. That's why Bernie Sanders should have run independent, but it was all a ruse, a con game. He wasn't going to do it. He ain't got the guts to do it. At least Cornel West got the guts to do it. Now, how far he go with it, we're going to see. He's running in the Green Party that has rules and regulations that say, no, you don't support the Democratic Party. We don't do that here. We don't. We negotiate on behalf of the people, not the party. At least that's what they say. His announcement, let me read that again, which makes it all the more unfortunate that instead of waging a campaign designed to push Joe Biden and the country in the direction of justice and compassion, really? Guys, where you come up with this stuff? Ain't nothing justice and compassion about Joe Biden and his legislative thinking. West seems not just resigned, but determined to remain on the margin. He announced his campaign as a nominee for the tiny and scandal-plagued People's Party. Like your party ain't scandaled. Your party is full of scandals. The whole 2016 election was full of scandal. Outspoken, outright documentations of rigging the election against the people. I wouldn't say Bernie Sanders, the people. The people wanted a certain candidate and you rigged against it. It don't matter whether he was a part or not, part of it or not. The people pushed him and you already had it rigged. And you got the nerves to talk about a scandal process, a scandal party. You're a scandal all day, every day. The DNC president get ready to testify against the Clinton, and all of a sudden a plane crash happened. Where you get that from? You are the party of scandals, both of you. He announced his campaign as nominated for a tiny and scandal-plagued People's Party, which has a ballot access only in Florida. They're new. Folks, let me say something about ballot access. You want to get ballot access and make it legit. But as long as you have the ability to write the person in, all they can do is challenge it. You can write the person in. I want Cornell and I want more parties to get 100% ballot access. Democratic Party and the Republican Party is going to do whatever they can to stop that. They're going to con scheme, fraud, do fraudulent things to stop that, but keep at it. Don't let that stop you. We already know this. We knew this before you ran for office. It's not a new thing. Somebody just did an article on it or did a video on it. We already know these things. We know how these parties get down. We know they're going to fight whatever they can to stop a third party. We know it's not just going to be a smooth transition, but it will be if you're outside the party. Who wants to run? Who's dumb enough to run in a party that you know that's going to rig it against you? And at the end of the day, you got to support the nominee. That's not freedom. That's not democracy. That's fascism. That's totalitarianism. Well, at least in the Green Party, he has a little more leverage. And yes, we know they're going to try to stop him, but they're supposed to. Cornell expect that. Jill Stein knows that very much. Ajamo Baraka knows that very much, that the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party going to do whatever they can to stop them. Look at the debates with Jill Stein. She tried to go into the debates because she polled well. They blocked her out, and they had her hijacked, kidnapped, and held hostage. They keep her from voicing her vision for America on that stage. I don't think they're going to do the same thing to Cornel West, but I hope it exposed them and shamed them, because these are people who loved Cornel West, claim they love him, but they hate him now because he's running for office. They want him to run in the party so ultimately he can be another great voice to support another crooked, pathological, lying, bigot, racist, rapist, with rape allegation politician. This one, Joe Biden. He announced his campaign as a nominee in the tiny blah, blah, blah. We went over that. Then he moved to the candidacy to the Green Party, but the Greens, who seem to have welcomed West with open arms, aren't much of an improvement. They're way better than you. With ballot access in 15 states, they're going to get more. You're going to try to stop them. My thing is how you guys get ballot access so easy every year. Because you got it rigged. Why they can't get it just as easy as you? Because you got it rigged. Though the party does have a long history in Europe, the U.S. Green Party reaching the peak of 2000 when Ralph Nader won almost 3 million votes for the presidency, and has been blamed by mainstream pundits ever since for the failure of Al Gore's dismal campaign. Well, we know that's not true either, people, just to let you know. they blame him, but it really was George Bush got more votes than Al Gore. If it wasn't for the Green Party taking away votes from George Bush, Al Gore would have got stumped even worse. The reason it got that close is because the Green Party took votes from George W. Bush. So stop letting these people tell these lies to you. The reason for West's choice is clear in our Harley Democratic two-party system. And you got it right, Harley Democratic. Acting as a spoiler. He's not acting as a spoiler. Let's say he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, I'm going to say he's spoiled. Acting as a spoiler in a close race is the closest as the third-party candidate can come to a relevancy. And if Donald Trump remains in a serious contention next year, that is the risk of no progressive can dismiss. Now, I'm not going to go into this article. You go into it. I already read it too. I'm going to get to this point that I want to get to over here with me. The whole point of running third party is to spoil. I'm spoiling it for both sides because I'm running to win for America. So yeah, I'm spoiling the right and I'm spoiling the left. So I embrace the term, I'm a spoiler. I'm here to spoil you from winning. Now I prefer the word blocker because I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you from getting that nomination. And I'm helping my party become more valuable doing it. I'm forcing you to respect and accept third parties now. And Cornel West is the man to do it, and he has the ability to do it, and I believe he will do it. And he has two missions: to win for the people, and if he loses, he still has the ability to get that party to a hard position of being a valuable, vulnerable at the same time, because it's vulnerable, but a powerful third-party access where you're going to have to come to one of us if you want to win. But the ultimate goal is for me to win. Folks, the ultimate goal is for Cornel West to win. They're going to tell you, well, it's a vanity campaign. He ain't going to win. He's going to lose. And even people like me say that in the back of my head. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to judge the world. This man probably can win. If he can get enough of the Democrats, some Republicans, a lot of Republicans ain't going to vote for him. But if he can get enough independents and Democrats, he can win. But he have to cater toward the people instead of catering to the party. He have to get a great platform, and he need to add more things on there, especially if he want to get the black vote, because that black vote prying them from the Democratic Party is hard. But thank God we got a new generation of young black voters that's saying, no, it's about me and my community and my people. I don't care nothing about these parties. They all can go to hell. What you got on my 40, homie? How are you going to invest in the black community? Are you going to take our black agenda and run with it? We got things that we want to happen in our community, and we're making a demand for it. Not just to mention the fact that you owe us, just for the simple fact that we kept you in office all these years. So you think you're just going to keep ignoring us and think we're going to continue to be loyal to you? No, you should expect us to leave anytime, any day, anywhere. You should not expect our support next year. This is not a marriage. This is business. And that's exactly what it is. Business. That's exactly what it is. Let me go to another one. Now, this is a tweet from Keith Olbermann. Losing his freaking mind over Cornel West. Cornel said, let us not be deceived. NATO is expanding instrument of U.S. global power and provoking Russia into a criminal invasion, which they did, and occupation of the Ukraine. This proxy war between the American Empire and the Russian Federation could lead to World War III. We must stop this war and the wars. What's his name? Is a little long-winded like me. World War III. We must stop these wars and war crimes, including cluster bombs used by all parties, and embarked on diplomatic talks that should lead to a just peace. As the great W.E.B. Du Bois wrote in 1945, I seem to see outline a third world war based on the suppression of Asia and the strangling of Russia. The Democratic Party is a party of war, and Wall Street targeting Russia and China Let us save our democracy and world by dismantling U.S. militarism at home as in cop cities and abroad, as Martin Luther King Jr. painfully reminds us, which is right. And that's one of the reasons why he's running to end these wars. We got too many warmongers, too many bloodthirsty Democrats as well as Republicans, and we got regular citizens like your grandma with a flag with Ukraine in it because they drunk the Democratic Kool-Aid. How you a black woman and you see Africa struggling, let alone your own neighborhood struggling, and you sit up here with a flag of Ukraine? They got a bunch of military people in there that will blow your head away because they're fascist Nazis. And you got the flag in the window. So you got Keith Olbermann. He's going to say something like F off. Keith Olbermann, the man who's been deranged since President Trump beat Hillary Clinton, probably one of the ones who cried like they did at the Jacob Javits Center, crying like a little yacht. And he's still crying because this is a cry. He told Cornel West to F off. Now, look, most of these people in the news media have a respect for Cornel West, and they ain't going to go that far. No, I love him. They have a mean Karen look on their face. Hint, hint. Crystal ball. Oh, I love him. I love him. But you're looking mad that he's not running the Democratic Party and that he's going to get some of your shine from your candidate, off your candidate on him, as he should, because that's the way the game goes. Sebi said, get off the plantation, Keith. This is the second time I've seen you disrespect black people on this site. You're a white moderate MLK. You're the white moderate that MLK warned us about. And we usually don't like to put stuff out there about your color because it doesn't matter. He could be black, spitting off the same thing. We're going to go after him too. But he is a white moderate. He is the one that Dr. King warned us about. Here you got a man running for peace and he's saying F off because he want a man that's going to get us to war in office because he want his team to win instead of the whole world to win. You can go through the comments down here. I just wanted to read Sabby comment up there. I did do a comment up there, but there's a lot of comments up here that I'm not going to go through because I'm already long-winded and been up here too freaking long, so but last but not least, I'm going to go to a statement that I made on Twitter today because Jordan Sheridan of Status Quo he came on. He did a wonderful broadcast. I'm not knocking the podcast, and I like Jordan. I think Jordan is a great reporter. There's a difference between a reporter and a political commentator. Reporters get the job done. They go to the streets and really hit the streets. And his segment was about that. Don't you dare think that just because he's not running in the Democratic Party, it's going to be smooth sailing. And I say to Jordan and anybody else, we already knew this, man. We know this. We know this ain't going to be a smooth sailing for Dr. Cornel West or anybody else running against two major political parties. Both of them going to team up to try to screw them, to try to get them off the ballots. I tell people, as long as there's the ability to write in somebody, don't get your panties in a bunch. You still can vote for this person. Now, if you're voting for Cornel West or you're seeking the Cornel West, you ain't got to worry about the democratic process unless you're a Democrat. And even as a registered Democrat, you ain't got to vote for Joe Biden. You can save yourself and vote for him, Cornel West, even as a write-in in the general. Because they're going to do whatever they can to keep him from the general. It's hard for them to keep him from a general election now. They want to put him in a position where he run in the Democratic Party, where they can put the reins on him, where they can control him, and they can eventually have him in a position where he's going to push his support to Biden. That's the reason why they're running scared, because they want a commission of people to push Joe Biden at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you can run fine. We ain't got no problem. This is why we can say there will be no primary, because you guys are not really considered challengers You're not really considered. You're just out there that's trying to sheepdog for us, including Robert F. Kennedy. But at the end of the day, you party leaders got to understand. You can put people in there that can be the one that believe like we think, believe like we do, think like we do, support what we support. If that person ain't going to be the nominee, what make you think we're going to support that person that don't? Because we're not. It's about our conviction. It's not about what you want. We don't think you better when it comes to democracy and stuff like that. You're about to get us in the freaking World War III. You're forcing people to take medications that they don't want to take. You're telling them either you take it or you're going to lose your livelihood. You're trying to control people's speech. You kind of trying to control people's thought. You trying to control the way people express themselves. You're trying to make people do things that they don't want to do. They're religious. You're trying to infringe on people's religious rights and putting a monetary or a criminal penalty on that. Well, you got to do this and you got to do that. You got to think. You got to, and don't do that. If you're not, we can call for your job. We can fine you. We can even throw you in jail. That's not democracy. You're infringing on my free thought, my free thinking, my free speech. I don't care if you are a bigot and you hate black people and you call me a Negro in my face. I could say your mama. You're voting legislation based on people's feelings or people's decision in life, and you want to infringe on other people's feelings and other people's right. You want to identify as a Corvette, a red one too. Nice. Corvette, red. 68 Mustang. Fine car, one of the best cars out. All right, you're Mustang. You're happy. That's what you want to be. I called you that. You're happy. But what if I don't? You going to get mad at me? You want to get me fired? You want to get me canceled? You want to get me locked up in jail or something like that? You want to hit me with a fine? Because I said, nah, I don't see you that way. I see you as a human being. I respect you as a human being. All that other stuff, I'm not buying into that. You're infringing on my rights now. You're infringing on my beliefs. That is not democracy. You talking about Trump over here and how you going to do that? And he can, and he probably will. You are and doing it right now. And here you got a person on here running for office. And yes, Jordan, we understand, my brother. They're going to make it hard for him to get in it. We're not dumb. Might not be the smartest chap, but we know the game. They're not going to let somebody just get into that office. That's why I kind of fear for RFK Jr. because, look, we know what that last time when his daddy ran for office, we know what happened. On one political issue, Israel and Palestine, a nutcase, took him out. And do the party care? I don't think the party care. I fear for Cornel West. There's a brother going out into farm country, a lot of those places, and he's going to some towns, the neighboring towns are sundown towns. There's going to be some bigger races over there that might try to take him out, but yet he may go to a town that's a bustling blue city, and it's a bigger races in the Democratic Party that might take him out. So I always keep these guys in prayer. I always pray for my public leaders, whether I agree with them or not. I don't pray for their downfall through that method. I pray that if they don't do their job, they're out of here. That's all. Don't do what the people put you there to do. You're out of here. I'm your umpire. Get out of here. Here's my statement to the response to everybody who think that we don't, you guys don't have a clue. They're going to make it hard for Cornel West to get any traction. We already know this. This is nothing new. I said there's a huge difference between outside party rigging and rigging in a party. It will be a Herculean effort to rig outside the party than it is to rig in the party. But let's say it is a Pee Wee Herman effort. We are post-duopoly. It is our mission to not vote for either party. It is our mission. It is our mission to put a hurting on these parties, to put the fear of God in these parties. The party need to fear the people. Supporting it through hook and crook, through fear and intimidation, that ain't gonna work. We will vote or not vote to beat them back, black and blue, for whatever reason. Some people will vote for the other side or not vote for at all for various reasons. Mine is a black agenda, and mine is reparations. I don't know what yours is for. Maybe it's for Medicare for all. Maybe it's for this, maybe for that, because they keep lying to you and you're tired of it. Whatever reason. Shaming will be thrown back at you. We're going to shame you. You hear that, Podcast America? We're shaming you. If Joe Biden don't win, it's because he didn't earn our votes. And it's because he's done things to us that he said he wasn't going to do, and we're not going to keep, let's say, fool me once. Like George Bush said, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me once, but you can't fool me again. You did it to me once. This is a relationship. It's not a marriage, it's a relationship. You hit me one time, you ain't ever marrying me. When you neglect me too many times, I'm out of this relationship. And this party has neglected my people too many times, ignored me too many times. You want to give us all the credit, but you want to give everybody all the results of the hard work we've done. Which you got a long history of doing that. Let me finish. Shaming will be thrown back at you. Just because you're in fear mean we will be. Just because you're in fear do not mean we will be. And we will not fear. The Trump card will not work. I do not want to die of nukes to save Ukraine or Russia. And if you throw the kitchen sink at us, we'll run you over with a car. So you're going to back the pluck up, or we will knock you down so hard that you're going to lay flat on your back. And this is my thing in closing. I'm a regular person. I'm a regular person. No different from you. I got a job, got a business, and I do this for fun. I make music, write songs, and I teach every now and then, spiritually teaching. There's nobody on the face of this earth going to put me in fear to vote. Now, you might try to fear me not to vote, but you ain't going to fear me to vote. That's backwards. You used to fear my people into not voting. You're definitely not going to fear me to vote. If we didn't do it then, to not vote will make you think I'm a fear to vote. You're not going to shame me. I'm going to shame you. To Podcast America, your boy has been doing black people wrong, and black people don't owe him a vote. If your boy lose, it's because of him. If your candidate don't get a vote, it's because they didn't do whatever they can to earn the vote. If you lose election, go back to see where you messed up at, not where the people are not obligated to vote for you. I don't care where you are in the country. If you got free and fair election, even if you don't, people are not obligated to support you. Now, other countries, they put a gun to your head to make you go support somebody. That's what you're literally doing when you're trying to shame somebody or fear-monger somebody. You're putting the gun of shame and the gun of fear to our head, telling us we have to vote for that person, or you're going to have a problem with me. Then I'm going to have a problem with you. Obviously, you got a problem with yourself because you're a coward. You can't think for yourself, and you think you have to do something. No, you don't. This is not a cult, even though you know, it is a cult, but, you know, you ain't got to be a part of the cult. You can escape it. You can be a free will thinker and free will voter, because that's what America is founded on. That's what America is supposed to be about, not force, fear, and intimidation. That's not America. But then again, it is, because America has used force, fear, and intimidation on a whole host of people. And it's time that stop. No, if anything, I'm going to use fear and intimidation and force. If you don't force my agenda, then you should be intimidated. And you should run scared, knowing that I won't vote for you or anybody else. All right, before I go, let me see who was up here. I only have one person up here, so I thank you, Monster Balls, who did all these comments. I'm not going to read them all. There's a lot of them. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Look, I don't get up here for the sake of viewership. I don't get up here for the sake of subscribers. If you're viewing, I say hit the like button. Thank you for watching. I don't care if it's 1,000, 1 million. It don't matter to me. If you're you know, if you're a supporter, fine. I just ask that you hit the like button, share the video, hit the notification bell, make sure it's on always so you know when the video drop. I don't want to do these long drawn videos. I wish I'm gonna learn how to get this thing down to 10 minutes because I know people attention span. But I had to deal with this subject. We're not going to be feared. We're not going to be intimidated. And we're not going to be pushed around and bullied around by you people. This is the right time to say you people. You Democratic cult members. You don't have to worry about me going to the Republican Party because I don't like them either. They don't have nothing for black people either. Saying that you got one person out of jail don't mean jack. Oh, you got this lady out of jail. Trump did. Who? Oh, that man, Negro, please. One. Weed is legal in a lot of states, and folks still in jail for that. Man, come on, man. Get the pardons out, bruh. You ain't doing me no favor. I need this black agenda that we've gotten written up, executed, even though you may not agree with it. It ain't about you. It's about us. Run that thing. And we need our reparations to the tune of 70 trillion. No excuses, no debate. We're not going over that. The money is there. The money is already there, folks. They can put money out of their behind for all these cluster bombs and all that kind of stuff. They can put the money out. They pull all their money out to give all these stimulus checks and stuff like that during the COVID. There's no excuse. Don't come talking about where we're going to get it from. There's a million ways we can get it from. That's not the point. Just get it. And every black person, if they're not trying to give you those two basic things, you shouldn't have to vote for them. And me personally, I won't. You can do whatever you want to do with your vote. But I'm going to look at you just like I look at AOC. Only a coward give away their vote with nothing in return. A Democratic in office is not a return for me. Because I got too many turncoat Democrats not doing right by me and my community, the entire CBC. So that don't mean nothing to me. Oh, we got to black this and we got to black this and that. That don't mean nothing. Those are not our tangibles. Those are symbolic positions. We need some things done for our community. And if you're not going to do it, now this is me personally, I'm not voting for you. One thing I can say about Cornel West, he's a peace guy. He's not for war. And even people who he can't stand, he call him brother. And he say he love him. And that's his Christian values behind him. To ask him to go off that, forget about it. He's going to say that about Brother Biden. Even though he know Brother Biden, a pathological lying bigot, racist with rape allegations, he going to say that about Brother Trump too. Even though he know Brother Trump is a bigot, pathological lying bigot with rape allegations, he going to say that about anybody. Because he's about bringing people together. My only beef with Cornel West is I need to see that platform, and I need to see you pushing that Claude Anderson-like policies. I need you to get Claude Anderson on your team before he leaves us on this earth. I need you to get with Brother Marcel Dixon and have him working with you on that platform of a black agenda and of reparations. I don't need don't go no Sheila E., a Sheila Lee, or Kenny G. Don't go to none of them folks. Go to Claude Anderson. I would say go to Senator Darity, but I prefer you to go to Claude Anderson. I'm Bob Brown with the Bob Brown Show. I'll holler at you later. And I was just testing this new thing out. I know it went kind of long. Holler at you later. Peace. God, almost 2 hours.